Hello, hello, everyone. It's me, Mrister, and today we're doing more no solutions puzzles. So in these puzzles, you have an opportunity to prove that there are no solutions to the grid that is provided. I'll give you some time to figure it out on your own, and you can pause the video or wait the 10 or 15 seconds that I give you. Okay, let's get into it. So first of all, between lines you have to put the digit between these two circles on the line. So these two digits have to be strictly between these two digits. So if I put a 1 and a 4 in here, then these have to be 2 and 3, or I could do 1 and 3, and these would both have to be 2. The digits could repeat on the line, but of course, these could not be the same digit, of course. Feel free to figure out what is going on, pause the video if you need to, and return in a moment. Cat is going crazy this morning, so yeah, he agrees. All right, let's see if I can work this out myself. So this digit in this box has to go in one of these two cells, but also in this box has to go in one of these two cells. And it can't be in these two cells because then it would be here, and you can't have those all be 1, for example, because then this would be 1, and that's not strictly between 1 and 1. So we can't do that. So one of these will have to be the same digit as that. Only one of them, though, because if they're both the same digit, then of course we would have the same situation where this one, let's just say it's there, then it will be in one of these two cells, and it will have to be here, so it will be here. So either this is the arrangement, or symmetrically, this would be the arrangement. It doesn't really matter which way it is, but one of those two must be the case. So then this digit in this box will go here, which will have to go here, which will have to go on the line. So this can't be an extreme digit, because if this was 1 and 4, and then this was a 4, and then this 1 went down here, then went over here because it can't go on its own line, then the 1 would be forced onto here, but then we'd have to sandwich this with a 0, and there's no 0 in 1 to 4 Sudoku. We know that one of these two digits has to be non-extreme, either 3 or 2. So that means these two digits have to be the exact same digit, which would place that digit here. But that's not allowed. Let's just take, for example, this being... He is making trouble for me. Why are you making trouble for me? You're supposed to be good kitty. You're not gonna be good kitty? You're gonna be bad kitty? There's gonna be no solutions to your behavior? Okay, where were we? I think we were saying that Benny, I just need to grab my mouse. The 3 would have to go here, and the 1 would have to go here, but that would mean that these digits were both not between this digit and this digit, and between them, because this has to be here, because it has to be the same digit, because these can't be 3 different, they can only be 2 different. I feel like there's a better way to explain this, but I'm just not getting it. But anyways, we have to move on. We'll move on to Raumplaner's no solution arrow, where we have these 3 arrows at the top, and each of these circles has to sum to the digits along the arrow. So this cell, if it was a 3, these would have to sum to 3, so they would have to be 1 and 2, for example. I'll give you a moment to work that out for yourself. This one should be a pretty straightforward one. There are multiple ways of seeing it. I'll explain the easiest way. The first thing we can see is that each of these arrows sums to itself. So let's say this is x, plus x is 2x, plus y, plus another y is 2y, plus z, plus another z is 2z. 2z plus 2y plus 2x is an even number because it can be divided by 2. But we know that all the digits 1 to 9 sum to 45, which is not an even number. So this entire row cannot be made up of these 3 arrows. All right, moving on from Raumplaner's nice arrow no solutions to a zetamath killer. So in this no solutions killer by zetamath, we cannot repeat a digit in this 9-cell cage. So it's almost like an extra region. So I can't, if I put a 1 there, I can't put a 1 here, even though they don't see each other by Sudoku. I'll give you a moment to work this out for yourself. Please pause or feel free to try to work it out really fast. Why this is not true. Prove to yourself that it is not true, and then I will prove that it is not true myself. So the trick is to ask the question, where do these 4 digits go in row 2? Well, they can't go in the cage because digits can't repeat in the cage. So these 4 digits, I'll color them in blue, have to go in these 4 green cells. But you might notice that only one of these blue cells is outside of box 2. So only one of these blue cells can go in box 2, but we need to put 2 blue cells into box 2. Another way of seeing this is these 3 cells cannot possibly fit into these 2 outside cells. We would need 3 cells that don't see these 3 cells. All right, moving on to Qodec's numbered rooms parity line no solutions puzzle. This is a numbered rooms clue, which means that this cell, row 1, column 1, will index the 2 in row 1. So if I put this as a 3, then the 2 will go in the 3rd position in the row, so right here. If I put this as a 5, then the 2 will go in the 5th position in the row, right here in the 5th column. It indexes the 2. And I was about to say thumb-colored line, but I guess it's a pink if you would prefer, means that the digits along it have to alternate their parity, even odd, even odd. So if this was a 1, that's an odd digit, so this would have to be an even digit, which would be 4 or 2 or 6 or 8. Then this would have to be an odd digit, let's say 3, etc., etc. I'll give you a moment to work out why this puzzle has no solutions, and then I will explain it myself. All right, have you figured it out yourself? If so, leave a comment below. Let's consider first why 1 doesn't work. Well, 1 says that this cell is a 2, and it's a 1, so that's not right. Let's consider 2. Well, 2 says that the second digit in the row will be a 2. Well, that will repeat the 2. Let's get those out of the way right away. The next one to get out of the way is 9. So 9 says that this cell will be a 2, and that doesn't work because then we need 1, 2, 3, 4 even digits in row 1 on the line, but the 2 is not on the line. So that's not going to work. And any other digit from 3 to 8 will automatically set the parity the opposite of what we want it to be. So let's, for example, color these odd or whatever we want them to be, and these as even. Well, then let's say that I put a 3 here. Well, then that's saying that the 3rd position will be a 2. But the 3rd position is supposed to be odd, the same parity as the 3. Let's consider if I put a 4 here. That would say that this cell is supposed to be a 2, but it's the opposite parity as the 4. So if I pick an even digit here, then I get the opposite parity, which is supposed to be the same parity, because 2 is the same parity as even, of course. And if I pick an odd digit, then I get the same parity when it's supposed to be the opposite parity. All right, moving on to Rockratzero's Thermo no solutions, or as he calls it, my M&M's melted, which is a cute name for what's in the grid here. M and M is in the grid. So we have normal Sudoku rules, of course, and normal thermometer rules apply. I'm guessing that's rules in Spanish. And these thermometers have to increase from the bulb end. So if this was a 5, this would have to be greater than 5. So 6, 7, 8, 9. It doesn't have to be in order. So if this was a 6, this could be an 8, for example. We will see how to solve this no solutions puzzle or prove that there is no solutions to this puzzle. Take your time, figure out why there is no solutions, and return back. See you shortly. Alright, did you figure it out? Please comment below if you did, and tell me how you did it. Now it's my turn to try to figure it out. I'm still a little bit perplexed, honestly.
A few moments later.
So maybe it's not about that. Maybe Christmas is a little bit more.
Maybe Christmas, perhaps, means a little bit more.
So there's a lot of digits that are sort of seeing each other here.
Puzzled and puzzed.
So I'm wondering if that is...
Till his puzzle of a saw.
Because I can't put ones or nines cannot go in any of these cells. And in fact, twos can't either. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so let's look at column 3 and column 7. On the thermos themselves, I can't put a 1 anywhere, because then I would have to have 0 or lower. And I can't even put a 2, because then I would have to have 1 and 0. So I can't put 1s or 2s in any of these cells. And I can't put 9s in any of these cells, because then I would need a digit greater than 9 in the next cell. So then these 6 cells in both columns cannot be 1, 2, or 9. So the only places for 1, 2, and 9 in those columns is here, meaning that we have an x-wing on 8. The only digit higher than 8 is 9. So since we have an x-wing on 8, we also have an x-wing on 9. That is incredibly cute. So let's explain what an x-wing is. In this column, where does the 8 go? Well, 8 can't go here, because then that would have to be 9, this would have to be greater than 9, 10 or something. So 8 can't go in these 4 cells, and it can't go in here because we've already allocated those to 1, 2, and 9. So the 8 in this column is in one of these 2 cells. That's the exact same in this column. So we have, in this column, 8 goes in one of these 2 cells, and in this column, 8 goes in one of these 2 cells. So we need to think about the rows. So in this row, there is 1, 8. And, oh my word, why can't I select a row? And in this row, there is 1, 8. But we already know that there are 2 8s in the green cells. So in these rows, those are the 2 8s. So that's an x-wing. But we get the same thing going on because wherever the 8 goes, be it this x or this x, this slash of the x, the 9s will have to go on those thermos. The only digit greater than an 8 is 9. But if you see, this 9 and this 9 rule out all of these places for 9 in our 2 columns, which only leaves 1 9 for column 3 and column 7. But last time I checked, column 3 and column 7 have 2 9s, not just 1 9. But if we try the other slash of the x, this slash, the identical thing happens. We also get that this is the only 9 that can exist in those 2 columns. So in fact, this x-wing on 8s leading to an x-wing on 9s has broken our puzzle, and it has no solutions. That is absolutely beautiful. Thank you, Rockrat, for sharing that. Let me know if you figured that out and if there was a different way of thinking about it. Let's move along to Derektionary's no solution Thermo. And again, thermos have to increase from the bulb ends. We can see... Oh. I'm way ahead of myself. I'll let you get ahead of myself and figure out what's going on in this puzzle before I explain what's going on in this puzzle. Do, 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 do. Will YouTube flag me if I just sing the Jeopardy theme song? I hope not. Alright, have you figured it out? Let's see if I figured it out. So these 3 cells in box number 8 cannot go on their own thermo, of course, because this digit, for example, if it's a 4, well, I can't have a 4 here, because 4 is not greater than 4, last time I checked. So in these 3 cells, we'll have some 3 unique digits, and those 3 unique digits will have to go up here. So we can color those, and we can color this, which means that we have roping. Roping means that since these digits and these digits and these digits are all the same set of digits, these 3 digits will have to go up here in this box because they can't go down here and they can't go in their own row. So these 3 digits we can give their own color, and we kind of get this Neapolitan striping effect. And we can do the exact same thing in here, and we have this configuration. This configuration suggests that these 3 digits are the same 3 digits as these. So we actually know that this one will be that one, this one will be that one, and this one will be that one, because they're in order in that one, so they'll be in order in this one. But these 3 have to be at least 3 less than this one. So the minimum they could be is, or sorry, the maximum they could be is 9, 8, 7, 6. So that's the maximum of this cell. So this could be 6, 5, 4. But then this would have to be 3, 2, 1, which is exactly what it has to be then. So we can get all of these digits right away. These are for sure digits, which means that this is a 1, 2, 3 triple. This is a 1, 2, 3 triple. But this digit can't be 1, 2, 3, or 4 now, so it has to be at least a 5. But as you can see, we're going to run into trouble because this digit can't be greater than 9. So we actually limit this cell enough that it can't be anything. Moving on from Derektionaries to Andrewsarchus's Irregular prove this has no solutions. Irregular is just like normal 9x9 Sudoku, but instead of having those 3x3 boxes, instead we have irregular regions, which also contain the digits 1 to 9 once each. One thing that you might need to use for this puzzle is that this column contains the digits 1 to 9, but this region also contains the digits 1 to 9. So these digits are one set of the digits 1 to 9. These digits are another set of the digits 1 to 9. So we can cancel the digits that overlap because those appear in both sets. So therefore the blue digits and the red digits are the same set of digits. That's called the law of leftovers. It's sort of a baby set. And as you can see, that's happening all over the grid. So feel free to use that in your solve of this. Take your time, pause the video. This will be the last one, so take your time. We're not ending with a classic Sudoku again, unfortunately. There's a lot more to look at in this one, so do take your time and figure out what's going on. I still don't know what's going on, so I'll have to figure that out as well. Let's go right back to what we just did and say that these blue digits and these red digits have to be from the same set of digits, meaning that if this is a 1 and a 2, then this has to be from 1 and 2. It could be in any order. It could be 1, 2, or it could be 1, 2, like that. But it just has to be exactly the same set of digits because, of course, these two digits, don't appear in any of these cells, so they have to appear in this region somewhere. They have to appear down here. But then these blue digits can't appear in any of these cells, so they have to appear, two of these 3 digits have to be blue digits. So let's just put some blue sort of corner marking in, and then we can see that in this region up here, in this T region, these 3 digits can't be blue digits, so the blue digits in this region have to be in these cells. 2 of these cells have to be blue, but that's looking at this cell. So let's say this cell was a 1. Then we know that in this domino, there has to be a 1. And then in this 3-cell section, there has to be a 1. But then that means that up here, there has to be a 1. But there can't be, because that was a 1. So whatever digit goes in row 1, column 1, will immediately rule itself out of this region via law of leftovers. So that is a fairly simple way to show that this is the case. I'm sure there may be lots of different interactions like that going on. Maybe this digit has the same property or something like that. Andrew's a very smart guy, so I'm sure he has some interesting stuff going on in this grid that isn't just dependent on these couple regions there. Anyways, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Comment below if you want to see more of this type of content. I want to produce more of this type of content, so I'd love to see your reaction and your feedback to it. Comment if you solved any of the puzzles and if you enjoyed them. And as always, Have a wonderful day, and thank you for enjoying the logical deductions present in all of these puzzles, and thank you to the constructors for sending them to me.